So I'm out this morning running around to get some nitrous bottles filled, and I passed Kiwi, so naturally I got to stop in. I had no intention of shooting a video or anything like that. But when I came in, I seen that he's made some progress on this hello Kiwi.
Hey.
In the background.
How's it going?
He's made some progress on this Fastback Mercury Cougar.
I have made some progress, yes.
But the thing that got me was this rear wheel opening. So we're gonna get into this whole thing in a minute. But see, one of Kiwi's talents, right? The thing that's really amazing about this guy, see, I'm talking nice about you, bro.
Yeah, well, it makes a change.
One of the amazing things about Kiwi is that he likes to take the factory forms and the factory shapes and just subtly rework them in such a way that you can't tell anything was done when it's over with. It's just, I guess, to me, it's amazing. Like, I've opened up many, oh, we got to look, the light is bad. We have to go this way. Yeah. I've opened up many wheel arches, wheel openings during the course of my life, but that always involved a sawzall and a hammer. And that's really as far as I've ever gotten, you know? But this guy's an artist. So what I want to do is we'll show you all of the progress he's made on the car so far, because there's a lot going on here. But I wanted to walk us, me, you, all of us through the steps taken on this wheel opening, because I'm telling you, this is like next level artistry. Look how nice I talk about you.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah, like
Imagine what $100 would get you.
See, if I face it like this, you look like the giant that you are. All right, so let's look at the other side, the untouched side, and then we'll come around and.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait till you see what's going under this hood. Okay, so here's the stock wheel opening. What problem did we have here?
Well, the customer's putting 20-inch wheels on it. Okay. So they're quite tall. And this particular opening, you kind of first glance it's round, but it's not really round. It's a lot longer kind of here to here than it is like if the circle continued. It's more of an oval shape.
Okay.
So the problem was, to get the car as low as we wanted it, the wheel was going to have to be in a long way and up a long way. And it didn't look in proportion. Right. Like the wheel arch needs to be somewhere similar to the shape of the wheel.
So tubbing it to get that clearance wasn't in the program?
We've actually already done the tubbing. We've moved the inner wheelhouse in 3 inches.
All right, how wide is the wheel that's going in here?
It's about a 12-inch wide tyre.
Okay.
So we had room, but it's nice to have the wheel out close to the fender, all right? But by doing that, you know, like it was hitting here on top of this little fender flare.
Okay.
So it just wasn't going to work. We had to get it in beyond that, and it just looked like it was too narrow, like undernourished kind of thing.
Okay.
So the way to fix it really was to lift the wheel arch up, just to come up with it until the wheel arch matched the wheel.
All right, and that's what we've got on the other side.
That's what we got on the other side.
So let's go over there.
Okay. Right. So that's the wheel arch. As you can see, we cut it off.
Well, what I see is first sign of a pro, that it wouldn't even occur to me to do something like this, is to weld the brace in there.
Yeah, because we knew we were going to work on the shape of this a little, and then it doesn't take long, and it's got a twist in it. It's changed. Doesn't want to go back where it used to be. So just a bit of old scrap, 3/4 inch square. You know, 4 little tacks.
Well, it's nothing exotic, but like I said, it's something that wouldn't have even occurred to me to do.
I mean, it's just experience. You know, it's just having, not the first rodeo and all that kind of thing.
All right.
Also, it makes it easier just to hold it up then. You've got, instead of it like holding this and it's flapping around, you can just grab it and hold it.
Yeah, I wonder why it didn't come like that from the factory.
Well, there you go. So that's where it was originally, about there.
Get in here.
All right.
Okay, so
that's where we cut it.
That's fitting in exactly where you cut it.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So, unpick the spot welds all the way around, marked it out with some tape, and basically just cut the wheel arch out. So here it is. Here's the wheel arch. Okay. Now, we just basically cut it out, slid it up, dropped it on, and thought that looks pretty good. And it did from side on. From front on, what we quickly noticed was that because of the real barrel shape of the sides of the Cougar, as this went up, this rolled in over the barrel and it got narrower. We ended up with a sort of fat here at the waistline, and like where the top of the tyre was going to be, it was a lot further in.
Okay.
So what I did, this was, I don't know how much you can see on camera, but this has quite a concave curve here, and that continued all the way around. And you'll notice this is flat, and we've run it through the shrinker repeatedly to get this to, it was curved right up like that, like to, you know, to a vertical face. So we've rolled it right over flat. That's widened it, and then we dropped it back on, and it still didn't really come out far enough. So then I got in and I rolled this edge, and that was really just with a hammer and dolly. Just a dolly up and behind it, nice round face hammer, and just, this is still a work in progress too, of course.
No, I've seen you do metal work without a shrinker, this type of thing. So what would you do with that?
I was lucky enough to have that little gadget, you know, which is not a high dollar thing if you're doing a bit of sheet metal work. Now that's about $300 we've sat there.
That's not bad.
And surprising how handy it is when you've got one. But if you didn't want to do that, what happens when you straighten these curves out, it wants to pucker up. You know, there's too much metal.
Okay.
So if you don't have a shrinker or a way of shrinking, you can put little cuts in it. And just like a little pie cuts and roll it. Does mean quite a bit more welding, but you'll get there, you know. In a shop like this, you know, it's better to buy one of them than spend 3 hours working one.
Absolutely.
Fender, you know, that's just, just economics.
Even at $300, if somebody was going to attempt something like this on their own, it's actually a good investment for the time saved and the accuracy of the job.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we've rolled it out here. Now that's going to sit on there. And you can see by the gaps here, we've come up about 2.5 inches. Which is, you know, now we've got quite a round wheel arch instead of a sort of flat oval. And the wheel sits in here just nice.
Bro, that is just so beautiful.
And now this is further away from the body. We can get the tyre out here, so it looks like wide. It helps that muscular kind of muscle car look.
Right.
You know, we don't want little tyres 4-inch tyres tucked in 4 inches away from the fender. It doesn't look good. Now we can bring the tyres right out to here. They're going to have some room to move.
What are you going to do on the inner?
On the inner, the tub, again, a work in progress. Often this sort of thing, you just start, you just cut and go, okay, that's not going to work. So we can go, oh, it's not going to work, and just, you know, spend a day umming and ahhing. Or you just go, let's cut it out, let's see what happens.
Okay, so you're just flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going to go with that.
I mean, this is the first time I've done this on a Cougar.
Okay.
It's not the first time I've moved a wheel arch, but the Cougar has already presented some new challenges as far as the barrel shape of the side of the body, stuff like that, compared to a Mustang, which is, you know, I mean, a Mustang's like a Snowtex box on wheel.
Right,
you know,
it's like a slab side, yeah.
Yeah. So you get to cut a wheel arch off, you move it up, you weld it on, done. This, we moved it up, it rolled in. So, you know, there was more stuff to do. So with this, you know, once we get this shape to the final shape, so they all match nice and we can butt weld it all up there, we'll just start beating on this and see how far it'll give.
Okay.
And if we can get it up to here and weld it, now it's not very far away there, I think we can get that up there. You know, BFH,
right,
stretching it. Here we're probably going to have to, you know, put some pieces in to make this all come together. So yeah. So
if somebody completely inept at doing this kind of work, like myself, was going to embark on this on his own car,
yeah,
what advice would you give?
Make sure you're not using a flux core welder.
Okay, that hurts. That hurts, bro.
Get yourself a decent welder that'll weld sheet metal. Okay,
right.
Practice, lots of practice. You know, get your welding as good as you can get it, and then just back yourself. Like, make some cuts. You know, and if you mess it up, you know, you can weld some back in. If you go, oh shit, I cut off an extra 1/2 inch that I didn't want to. It's like, okay, well, one, you know for the other side, and two, you weld a bit back in. You haven't cut a limb off.
Right.
Oh shit! What do we do now?
That's the great difference between working. I hate working with wood because you make one little mistake and it's done.
Yeah, you can't weld wood.
With metal, yeah, you just add it back.
So, back yourself a little bit. Keep working at it. Take a break if you need to. Come back to it. You need to be feeling inspired a little bit, because it's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work, but put that back up there again. Like, I don't know if you guys can really see this, how incredibly, like, homogeneous this is. On video. I don't know if you can really tell by that. But I mean, I'm just absolutely blown away by it.
But yeah, once it's all done, it's going to be hard to pick out unless you really know cougars.
Yeah.
Your average guy
kind of like
is
the
not going to
Fastback.
pick it up. Kind of what?
Kind of like the Fastback.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, people are going to look at this car and it's like, wait a minute, something's not right there, but something's so right.
I had a customer in the other day and said, buddy of mine used to have one of them, and I'm like, really?
Just like this one.
Well,
All right. All right, now you got to start all over
you got to
again.
hammer and dollar the dents out once you rock.
All right, so it doesn't end here, right? Now you got the motor for this thing.
We got the motor that's tucked away and it makes all our stuff.
Well, and it's a big lump of engine. So what's this out of?
That's out of like a 2021, I think it is, GT Mustang.
Okay.
It's like 460 horse.
Yeah, that is a sizable piece of engine. And you're going to fit it between the shock towers of this thing.
Shock towers are gone. Already gone. That's also getting a supercharger on it. And we've also got to try and get it under the hood. So I see more work ahead.
All right, so what do we got going on here?
So that's a Heights front suspension, power rack and pinion. It's set up for the Coyote. Yeah, so we've got panels that go in here and fill all that up. Pretty sure we're going to have to cut the firewall, but we've done that a couple of times before, so that's not a big deal.
Where do the shocks go?
The shocks are here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the moment they're just, shocks and springs go here. That's just just all thread holding it at the correct ride height.
Gotcha. I'm a torsion rod guy.
There you go.
Oh man,
So yeah, there's that. We got a bit of cleaning up to do, and so a bit more cutting, and there's always more to do.
It looks like it'll fit though. I mean,
I've done a '69 Mustang, which is about the same size engine bay, with the Coyote. It's full.
Yeah.
It's full. If you drop your 10 mil down the side of it, you're never getting it back.
Plus
Not unless you want to take the engine in.
Plus the supercharger.
Yeah, plus the supercharger, and that's all.
And this hood
wants that to go under the hood.
This is the hood you're going to use?
Yeah. That's the XR7 intake. That's going to give us a tiny bit of extra height, but I don't know whether it'll be far enough forward to give us the room we need. But
one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Now you've been plucking away at this car for a while now.
Yeah, well, I went away on a vacation for quite a while.
Right.
And it's back. We've been cleaning up. Did develop some surface rust because it was bare metal, and so we've been cleaning all that stuff up. But yeah, now the customer's very keen to get at it, and wants to get it done.
So when do you anticipate this thing actually rolling under its own power?
It's going to be a little while. It's going to be a little while. We got a lot to do. The size of that transmission, we're going to have to cut it, make a complete new transmission tunnel for it.
Yeah, that's got a tiny.
Yeah, it's got a transmission tunnel for a C4, not a 3-speed auto. That is, it's not a long transmission, but it's very fat.
Right.
Because it's 10-speed auto, and there's not actually 10 gears in it. There's 2 ratios. There's a high and low range, which splits it up. So you got a 5-speed and another ratio and a 5-speed. So there's a lot in there. So we got to do all that. It's custom interior. We got to figure out the interior because it wasn't a fastback, but now it is. And it wasn't a fastback, now it is. So we've got to work that out. We're putting flush glass in it, so it's the stainless trim's going away. The customers bought the oversized glass. They're actually making the oversized glass for the Mustang,
Okay.
which is the same windows. So yeah, that was funny. Kind of ordering that from the company that makes the stuff. We ordered a 67 windshield and a 69 back glass, and they're like, no, that's not what you want. It's either a 69 or it's a 67. Like, you're wrong. Like, no, we're not.
we both have colds.
We do, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, that's
Should
we're
be
both
at home.
sounding a little rough.
I thought I sounded sexy. They're not sexy.
I wasn't going to say it, man. I
Oh,
wasn't going to say it. But and then of course you got attacked by one of your customers, punched you out.
That was one of the wives for spending that much money.
Okay.
No, it's skin cancer. Use your sunblock, guys.
But you're all good now.
All good now.
Okay. Yeah, because the black eye is like, it
Yeah.
doesn't look good like that.
Oh man,
yeah.
I look like a badass from the Bronx.
From the Bronx. The Bronx.
The Bronx.
All right.
So yeah.
So you're covering this on your channel, of course, Kiwis, couches, and creamy quesadillas.
That's it. You got it right.
There you go.
Kiwi classics and customs, guys.
I get hungry every time I come here. All right.
Where you going?
I can't find you this GoPro thing. All right, there we go. Usually we got Uncle Kathy filming this stuff.
Yeah.
Any famous last words?
Stay healthy.
Okay, that'll work. All right, guys, so his channel, go over there, sub. He'll do more stuff on this car and all of the other ridiculously amazing things that he does. You make me sick. I want to go
That's
home.
the Tony I know.
I want to go home and beat all my cars with a freaking hammer.
That's what I'm doing to this, beating it with a hammer. Just slightly different end result.
All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.